This is What to Expect, your guide for Christmas and the holiday season at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure 2022. In this video, we're going to let you know everything you need to know if you're planning to visit Disneyland during the holiday season. The holidays will begin at the resort November 11th and will run all the way till January 8th, 2023. Some of the highlights are the decorations, merchandise, food, specialty themed attractions like Small World Holiday and Haunted Mansion Holiday, shows, and so much more. The first thing is the giant Christmas tree in each park. Disneyland's tree is 60 feet tall and covered in thousands of lights and decorations with garland all the way down Main Street. In Disney California Adventure, the tree is a 1920s and 1930s era vintage tree. It's adorned in lights and it overlooks Buena Vista Street and has tons of classic Walt Disney and Disney Parks memorabilia. What's new this year? First off, for Magic Key holders, Inspire and Believe, you will now have unlimited PhotoPass downloads, unlike last year. So all of those Main Street and Buena Vista Street tree pictures can be taken and downloaded as much as you want. Another fun thing to do each night is in Disneyland and DCA, there is a little tree lighting moment. They usually do a countdown, which is really fun, and it's at sunset, about 5 o'clock p.m. And then the tree will light up for the night, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's one of those fun little ceremonies that are kind of casual that you just happen to catch. It is something we recommend doing if you happen to be over in that section of the park. Now, if you're unable to catch one of those tree lighting moments, there are other little lighting ceremonies that happen around the park, including Sleeping Beauty's Winter Castle. It's almost like a mini show. It's about 5 to 10 minutes long, and it ends in snow in front of the castle and all down Main Street. And it's called Wintertime Enchantment. That will happen at 7:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. every night. Small World Holiday lighting is each night at 5 o'clock. It's a fun little countdown. Once it's lit up, it stays for the rest of the night, and it is beautiful. It is something you can't miss. We make sure to see it every year, and trust me, it will take your breath away. There's something about the excitement that everybody just loves, so you definitely can't miss it. And if you happen to be back by Small World, pay attention because there is an intermittent projection show that'll take place on the face of Small World. It usually happens about every half hour or so, and it's about a 5-minute little projection show. It's got a cute little number, cute little music, and definitely recommend going to see that if you're back near the Small World corridor. It gets you in the mood and it gets you all excited for all of the holiday fun that the parks have to offer. Now, if you happen to have purchased a Magic Band Plus, we have no confirmation if the Magic Bands are going to do a lighting synchronization with any of the lighting ceremonies, so stay tuned to this channel to find out if that's something you're curious about. Something that we love to see every year is the characters dressed up in their holiday outfits. Now, Disney released that Mickey and Minnie will have new holiday outfits for 2022, and we cannot wait to see these in person. The characters will be in Town Square all season long, and they'll be available for photos and hugs. And remember, if you have a Magic Key, you'll be able to get unlimited downloads for those photos. The Christmas Fantasy Parade will return for 2 parades, one during the day and one during the night. Again, starting November 11th and running all the way till January 8th. The parade times are 3:30 and 6:30. You can get a spot anywhere from the Small World corridor all the way down to Town Square. We recommend to get there at least 30 to 45 minutes, maybe even sometimes an hour early for the parade. Just be advised that this is one of the longer parades at Disneyland. You might want to bring a little snack. Make sure you use the restroom beforehand. It's not a quick parade like Magic Happens, always was, and I promise it's worth it. It's a great parade. I think there's just so many wonderful aspects to this parade. We love seeing Mickey and Minnie and Goofy, but I think the biggest highlight is seeing Santa Claus at the end. I mean, there's something just so great about seeing Santa coming to Disneyland, seeing all the children's faces light up. Make sure that you don't miss the Christmas Fantasy Parade. Definitely something that should be at the top of your list. And of course at Disneyland, it wouldn't be Christmas or the holidays without Believe in Holiday Magic, the fireworks spectacular. It's just, there's something about it that's so magical. The projections, the snow at the end, it's fabulous. And something new this year is that the Magic Band Plus that is now available at Disneyland will be interactive with this show. Something else that is going to be new for this season, if you were familiar with the last couple of months at the Disneyland Resort, we only had fireworks going from Friday and Saturday and Sunday night. Well, holiday fireworks will be every night at 9:30, of course, weather permitting. But what's so special about this show is that if you are on Main Street, if you are in front of the castle, or you are back by Small World watching them, every show will end in snow. And not just any snow, but this snow is actually scented. Smells kind of like cinnamon. And remember, if it's too crowded along Main Street or in front of the castle, you can always go back by Small World or even the Rivers of America. But if you do go back by Rivers of America, I don't think it's going to snow. There was one year that it randomly did some snow that I kind of recall, but just know that you can actually watch the show back there. For the fireworks, we recommend lining up or at least getting a spot to wait at least an hour prior. But just remember that it is weather permitting, and during November and December, it can be kind of dicey in California, and we are subject to those winds. Try not to be disappointed, because even if they don't do the actual pyro, most of the time they'll still do the projection, so you can still hear the music and see a show. There is other in-park atmosphere that is surely not to miss. There's Santa meet and greets. Over in Disneyland, it's over there in Critter Country at Pooh Corner. In Disney California Adventure, it's over at the Redwood Creek Trail. There's also cookie decorating and some crafts. Something that is returning this year is the guided holiday tour. It's about 2.5 hours, and you'll be able to see the Christmas Fantasy Parade from a preferred viewing spot. You'll also get a couple of treats, and you'll even be able to go on Small World Holiday. You'll just be able to walk on, so I think that's kind of cool because those waits can get extremely long for Small World Holiday. And speaking of Small World Holiday, that is something you definitely don't want to miss. You need to get on the attraction. They transform it into Small World Holiday, and what looks beautiful on the outside also is beautiful on the inside. Not only does it look beautiful, but it actually has parts of the attraction that are scented. One of our favorite moments is the big tree that you'll pass. It's just this Christmas smell. I don't think it smells exactly like a tree, but it smells great. And then the other one is over in the Mexico portion. It's kind of cinnamon scented. It is just a can't miss attraction. It's something that you should make sure you do. If you only have one day in the park, it's one of the can't miss attractions. We recommend buying Genie Plus. I think it's worth purchasing just for that, if nothing else. And over in New Orleans Square, Haunted Mansion Holiday, which did open early September, and it will run also until January 8th, 2023. It's something you can't miss if you haven't come for the holiday season. It's just a fantastic overlay for the Haunted Mansion with Nightmare Before Christmas. I think the biggest highlight of this is that not one part of the Haunted Mansion isn't decorated. It's just fantastic. And every year, the gingerbread house is something different. So this year, if you've watched a lot of our videos, you probably know what it looks like. But if not, be sure to activate your senses, because it smells like gingerbread as you go by the ballroom. And speaking of Nightmare Before Christmas, you can find Jack and Sally in between Port Royal and Pieces of 8, meeting for photos and to just say hi. And if you're still planning which dates to come to Disneyland during the holiday season, make sure that you note that on the 3rd and 4th of December, that is when Disneyland will be doing the Candlelight processional. It's a 45-minute musical retelling of the first Christmas that is located in Town Square. Just be advised, if you don't want to try to do that, it might be a good time to go over to DCA if you are going to be there in the evenings on the 3rd and the 4th of December. Something really exciting is that the candy canes will be back in Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. If you're not familiar what the candy canes are, they are these hand-pulled candy canes. They only do a certain number each day. They are massive, they are delicious, and it is a tradition that for us, it's a can't miss. We shared a little bit of info on this in one of our recent updates, so we will show you that clip where we share the dates that will be happening.
The dates are December 4th, 6th, 11th, 13th, 18th, 20th, and 24th at Disneyland over here at the Candy Palace.
Yep.
And over at DCA at Trolley Treats, it'll be December 5th, 7th, 12th, 14th, 19th, 21st, and the 25th.
Woo!
So we will make sure that we are there to show you. It'll be December 4th, beginning at Disneyland. And for all of you food lovers out there, let me tell you, Disneyland never disappoints. We always get so many fantastic treats, whether it's just a seasonal churro, whether it's peppermint beignets, ice cream, there is always something delicious that they come out with. Some of my favorites are the gingerbread cookies that Disneyland creates. I think it's one of those things you can't miss. There's something about how they make that gingerbread that is just extra magical, sort of like how they make their churros extra magical. I kind of think they have that with the gingerbread cookies. Another thing that they had last year that I'm really hoping they'll have again is the peppermint fudge. That was kind of my go-to treat all year, especially if you're a big chocoholic like myself. So make sure you stay tuned to this channel and we will keep you updated for everything that'll be returning and new for this year. And now we are going to move on to DCA, Disney California Adventure. So over on Buena Vista Street and Carsland, as well as Hollywood Boulevard, they will have a beautiful Christmas decor layover. Over in Carsland, some of our favorite things are Mater's Jingle Jamboree, Luigi's Joy Whirl, and there's plenty of trees. One of the best trees is over in Carsland, and it's a 50-foot tree with a bunch of car parts on it. They will also have a little bit of a lighting kind of countdown where all the lights come on. That's usually at sunset and will kind of change as the season progresses. Mater will also be decked out in his Santa hat, and there's of course always foods and treats over there. But Carsland always does it up so good for the holidays, so definitely make sure that that's on your list to get over there. Another show that we love to see during the holiday season is Viva Navidad. It's a holiday celebration where there's mariachi, dancers, Mickey and Minnie, the Three Caballeros, a high-energy show that takes place over in front of the Paradise Garden Grill area. Let me just tell you, if you haven't seen it yet, it's kind of one of those things that you can't miss, and it is fabulous. And I think one of the biggest events over in DCA is the Festival of Holidays. It is celebrations from all around the world. It's foods, shows, crafts, all kinds of things. It's basically one of the best food festivals that I think Disney Parks has to offer. There's just so many different foods and drinks to try. I think the performances that you'll see all throughout are fantastic, but I think there's something so great about having that extra bit of holiday spirit in there. If you are a Magic Key holder, they will have a Sip and Savor Pass. It's basically a way to save money, and it's about 50 to 60 bucks, but that way it makes each item a little bit cheaper to purchase. And as I mentioned, the performances are a huge highlight. Our two favorites that we will see multiple times are Mostly Kosher and Fat Cat Swinger. And of course, there will also be random entertainment throughout the park with Mickey's Happy Holidays. It's kind of a mini parade with the toy drummers. There's also just a ton of entertainment and merchandise and things you'll see all throughout the entire park in Disney California Adventure. And exciting news, World of Color Season of Light, the Christmas special World of Color show will be returning for 2 shows a night at 9 p.m. and 10:15. You can book a virtual queue at 12 o'clock through the Disneyland app. And if you can't get into that virtual queue to book a spot, you can always make a World of Color dining package reservation. Those are usually at Wine Country Trattoria, Storytellers, and Carthay Circle. And you can take your chances and do a walk-up for whatever space is available. Just remember, the front 2 rows, you will get wet. Some reminders that we want to let you know if you're coming for the holiday season. This is the most crowded time of the year. I know summer sometimes can feel very, very packed and have its moments, but nothing is more busy where this park will reach capacity a lot of the time. There's just tons of people, so our best recommendations are to get there as early as you can. Remember, you could get there about an hour before the park is actually opening, and you can also stay late. Main Street will stay open for about an hour each night that it's open. You'll be able to stay on Main Street and shop and hang out and look at lights until 1 a.m. The Genie Plus is definitely a good option. Just remember that it will be extremely crowded. It'll still be quite the long wait. Even with Genie Plus, the standby doubles, and the Genie Plus, you'll still end up having to wait about 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes we've even seen people waiting 30 minutes. But I guess the idea is that you're not waiting an hour, 2 hours. So there you go. If that's worth it for you, then maybe think about getting that. One of the things we often say is bring your patience. Just know that it's not always about the attractions. Waltz Park was meant to be enjoyed for the atmosphere, and I think Disney does it literally. I really think Disney does it the best. So like I mentioned before, take time and look at the decorations, watch the shows, just enjoy the beautiful weather and the scenery that there is, and enjoy the Christmas spirit all throughout the park. It's one of the busiest times of year, as I mentioned, and I can't imagine how hard it must be to work in a very busy theme park with so much going on. So just remember an extra thank you. Make sure to pick up your trash and do everything you can to help support our fabulous cast members at Disneyland. Remember, you can bring food and drink into Disneyland, so that will kind of help if you're kind of crunched for time. Sometimes, even with the mobile order system, it can take a long time just to get a simple cheeseburger and some fries. So if you pack at least one meal, it tends to help with your time management. Also, be advised, if you know that there is a food item or something that is available on mobile order, you can mobile order it at the start of your day. For instance, if I know I'm going to want to have a Darth by chocolate, the minute I get in that park, I will mobile order it and use my best judgment for what time I'll likely want that. If I ordered it for 3 and I don't end up getting there until about 5 over at Galactic Grill, you can always switch the time. So it's definitely a little bit of a time saver and something that we often do, and I hope that tip really helps. And speaking of mobile order, as you know, you're going to have to be on your phone quite a bit. Make sure you bring a portable charger or something to charge your phone with. They do have fuel rods here, so if that's something that you have or you'd like to purchase, you can get free unlimited swaps throughout the day when using that. And although it only happened one time, the After Hours Christmas event in Disneyland, Merriest Nites, will not be happening this year for the 2022 season. And for the weather, we have wonderful, beautiful weather here in California. We don't get half as much of the moisture and rainstorms that you'll see over in Orlando, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. And it can get very cold here as well. I think there's sometimes people think, oh, it's California, it's not snowing, it doesn't get cold. But it actually can get cold if you're sensitive to it. So just remember to bring some layers, and you can always get a locker or bring a backpack. If you are a Magic Key holder, aka an annual pass holder, just remember that all annual pass holders will be blocked out from December 20th through January 2nd. So if you're wanting to go to the park and you're a Magic Key holder, you will have to buy tickets. That leads me into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day at Disneyland. New Year's Eve is likely the most crowded and insane we've ever seen the park pretty much every year. This year might be different because annual pass holders are blocked out. So we'll be sure to let you know what that's like, as we will be here to see it. That's right. We are going to be here for New Year's Eve at Disneyland. A lot of you might be wondering about the dining packages like we've done in years past. There have been no announcements from Disney as of yet, but when or if we hear anything, we will be sure to update you. So again, just another reason to make sure you subscribe to Best Life and Beyond. Well, that is going to wrap it up. I hope you found this informative, and if it helped you in any way, please let us know by leaving us a comment and subscribing to our channel. Thank you to our Patreons, and thank you for watching. And for Spencer and myself, bye-bye everybody.